At a time when millions of college students find their lives disrupted and their finances in shambles, they also don't qualify for the federal stimulus checks. This is Virginia Reports. I am Ryan Gilchrist, and tonight I have with me Maryum Elnasseh. She is a senior at Virginia Commonwealth University, and this topic in particular, Maryum, is something you and I talked about the first time we met, which is student finances, and in particular, the fact that they don't qualify for stimulus checks. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, thank you for having me. And so as of fall 2019, there's 11 million students enrolled in post-secondary institutions in the US who are between ages 18 to 24. And so as the stimulus checks have come in, we've seen that people aged 18 to 24 who are claimed as dependents do not qualify for the $1,200 stimulus checks. And in fact, neither do they qualify for the $500 bonus for dependents under 17. So many young adults and college students choose to categorize themselves as dependents in order to qualify for federal student aid or to receive healthcare benefits, even if they aren't living at home or receiving money from their parents. So as they're being hit financially by this, they're also not receiving the aid to help them through these times.
Wow. In particular, it's a problem with housing, right? I mean, the way the semester ended, there's a lot of questions about financial support and housing for students. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so after the way this semester ended and classes going online, some colleges and universities have been offering housing refunds for on-campus housing. But unfortunately, past freshman year, most college students live in housing that's technically considered off-campus. So since they're in a lease legally binding them, they're not seeing any housing refunds. And this is especially difficult when a lot of students have chosen to leave the city and go home to stay with their families. So now they're paying rent for apartments that they aren't actually staying in. And, you know, at least in Richmond, I've seen that the rent range is typically often between $500 to $700 a month if you're in a bedroom in a shared apartment or house. So the $1,200 stimulus check could have covered, you know, all of April and May's rent, but instead students are having to pay out of pocket for that with money that they're not necessarily having right now.
So no stimulus check and housing difficulties, and the answer to that typically would be, well, I'll just have to get a summer job or maybe a second summer job in a lot of cases. Unfortunately, the crisis we're in right now has made that exceptionally difficult as well. Usually millions of college students are seeking summer jobs. So what now?
Yeah, that's definitely a huge problem. So as of July 2019, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, there was a total of 23.3 million youth between the ages of 16 to 24 looking for work or actively working. And there's typically a sharp increase between April and July each year. But now with everything that's happening and a lot of the closures, you know, we're not going to be seeing this happening this year. The largest percentage of youth employed work in leisure and hospitality, which includes food services. That's 25% of youth who work, and then an additional 17% of employed people between ages 16 to 24 work in retail industry, and that's also going to be a difficulty right now. And you know, the money that students make from working over the summer is money that helps them pay off their college debt, rent for the semester, food, all kinds of expenses that we're now being left with not much opportunity to pay off.
Right.
Yeah. And as one student.
So basically in every possible way, this is a difficult situation. Maryum, thank you for your time. I know this is a topic that you and I have already talked about a couple of times, and certainly we're going to be doing some more reporting on this as we continue into this crisis and learn a little bit more about what happens next and what the options are for students. So I appreciate your time tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks to all you who've watched. We appreciate it. If you made it to this point in the video, I presume you enjoyed it at least a little bit. So a like would be appreciated. If you really enjoyed it a lot, feel free to subscribe. We'll have a lot more content like this coming in the coming days and weeks. And we appreciate your continued attention. You can also find us on Twitter, twitter.com/Virginia Reports. We look forward to seeing you there. Until next time, thank you very much.